Can't believe McGregor's a welterweight, like your division now, if you look at the size difference. Do you think he'll fight Hooker? Do you like that fight?
Everybody forgets he told us he's not going to fight. He told us he's coming in, getting money, and getting out. There are instances like Tyson where he made a lot of money and probably blew a lot of money, but he's doing well. There's just a point of diminishing returns. It doesn't matter who you're fighting. It doesn't matter if you're fighting a guy you just shouldn't be doing it.
Who had a bigger year, Usyk or Topuria?
Well, John talks about legacy, right? Pereira, to me, is not a legacy fight for John because Alex is not a heavyweight. Tom is more of a legacy fight.
You in your prime versus anyone in their prime, if you could have one fight, what would it be?
GSP. Yeah, I was close. I was on the title run when he was champion. I was close.
What about Hamza?
Yeah, the way he looked against Rob, he looks unstoppable. Nobody's done that to Rob.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here in Phuket, Thailand, Junkyard Theatre, Fight Circus 12 with the Immortal Matt Brown. Back again. Dude, Blog Tang. A lot of people are excited. When this comes out, it would have already gone down, but what drew you back here for that?
Man, Blog Tang's a tough challenge, bro. He's had a lot of Muay Thai fights. He's a big guy. And I got to get ready, get mentally prepared tonight, so I can go in there and put it on him.
I don't know how John Nuts pulled it off, but having you here, Mark Coleman, we've had Rampage, Bob Sapp, and Blog Tang's kind of a hero in his own right. Like, what do you make of what is going on right now with Fight Circus?
Well, I'm focused on my fight. Blog Tang is a serious challenge, and he's been here, been doing this for a while. I'm coming on his home turf, so I'm gonna take it serious. I'm not focused on nothing but the fight tonight. Not worried about what he's doing. Not worried about all the distractions around.
Here's a man mountain. How are you going to deal with him?
I think you got to wear him out, right? I think I got the cardio advantage. I think I can move my feet a little faster than him. Try to fuck with his lungs a little bit. Maybe get him in the belly a couple times. I know he's got a lot of pattern there, but I still go for that belly some.
We're going to see a elbow?
I'm going to be looking for elbows from the onset to the end. We'll see if Blog Tang can handle it.
If you could make any matchup in Fight Circus, what would it be?
You know, Blog Tang might be my dream matchup. He's the Fight Circus, the man. He's the man at Fight Circus. So if you want to be the man, you got to take out the man.
I was interested to hear your take on Tyson Paul. I didn't watch it personally, but there's a difference between the freak show fights we do here versus what happened there. Can you describe your thoughts on it?
Well, there is some difference. It sucks, man. I didn't like seeing it. We knew what was going to happen, and we knew how we were going to feel after, but we all watched it anyway. Because it's Mike Tyson. You got to love the guy. All the respect in the world to him. For me personally, I just have a different view on it where I don't want to see him fight. I mean, if he's going to fight, I'm going to watch. But I don't want to. I wish that he wasn't doing it. I want to see him live a good life, man. He don't need to be taking punches, whether it's, from a 27-year-old or a 50-year-old. He just don't need to, So I don't like it. But you got to give all the props in the world to Jake Paul. Not for his boxing.
It's marketing, dude.
He's a decent boxer. Yeah. But his marketing, yeah.
Will he ever be a world champion? Eddie Hearn says no.
Nah. He started too late. Nah. I think, look, as fighters, as entrepreneurs, we believe everything is possible. And for us to try to tear him down and say what his limitations are would be contradictory to everything we believe, and we'd be hating just to be haters, right? Because he's the one out there making all the money. So I don't put anything past what he can do. But to be a champion in boxing, especially the weight classes he's dealing with, you got to have a lot more than what he's got. It's a simple fact. I mean.
So you have a high profile. You like fighting. You like money. Have you been linked to any of these kind of fights? Is there anyone out there who you think would be a money fight for you in any kind of realm, celebrity, whatever?
Yeah, you know, I've had some different offers here and there, but it doesn't really.
Anything interesting?
Yeah, it doesn't spark my interest that much, to be honest. Like, I'm a warrior, bro, and you know, I want to fight warriors. That's all I want. But now my war is not in a cage or a ring. Now my war is in other parts of life, and I'm gonna maintain that warrior attitude in everything I do. I come out here for fun, you know, and I'm gonna take the Blog Tang fight serious, but you know, this is fun, right? This isn't for money. I'm not gonna fight for money again in my life. My war is in other areas.
Well, last time we did speak about Muay Thai, and I know how much you love the sport, and I was wondering, you went to Raja, you went to Lumpini.
Yeah.
How did you feel? That Muay Thai fight, is that a realistic prospect, even if it's in a year's time? Or?
Man, it's very tempting. I can tell you that. It is extremely tempting because I love the art. I love Muay Thai. And when you go into stadiums and you experience that, I mean, that love just gets deeper. That passion just gets deeper, man. I mean, it's such an awesome sport. But I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to put in that time and energy to be prepared for something like that. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. I'm going to keep loving it from the outside and getting in as much knowledge as I can to give back to others, because that's where my war is now. That's where my fight is now. I'm not any less of a fighter than I was before. It's just a different fight.
Back to what you were talking about before in terms of watching Mike Tyson, the only way maybe I'd want to watch it is if he's fighting somebody his age. How would you feel about the concept of like a Masters Grand Prix? Because there are a lot of dudes we've said goodbye to, like who are legends, like yourself, Nick Diaz.
No, a lot of people talk about this. A lot of people bring that up. It's unfortunate. You know, there are instances like Tyson where he made a lot of money and probably blew a lot of money, but he's doing well. Like, shouldn't be fighting. You know, there's just a point of diminishing returns. It doesn't matter who you're fighting. It doesn't matter if you're fighting a guy you just shouldn't be doing it. Like, there's other things to do in life. And that's why I've always made it a priority in my life to be a well-rounded person and not just be a fighter. I think it's important. And, you know, whatever you're doing, right? If you can't just be one thing.
100%.
You know, you have to have some variety, man. You got to have options. And I'm sure different people are different, right? Like, I'm that kind of person. Like, I have to do new challenges all the time or I get bored. You
got to be multifaceted. Last time you called it, McGregor was never going to fight Chandler. Can't believe McGregor's a welterweight, like your division now, if you look at the size difference. Do you think he'll fight Hooker? Do you like that fight?
The Hooker fight? I don't think Conor's going to fight, to be honest. Everybody forgets he told us he's not going to fight. He told us he's coming in, getting money, and getting out. That's literally his words that he said. So I think he likes being in the news. I think he likes being relevant. So that's going to be, he's going to try to linger that I'm going to come back for as long as he can. And look, there's a chance he comes back. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think he's going to. And until he makes that walk, I'm not going to believe it is.
A lot of people criticize Topuria for being, well, Max criticized him for being a copycat of McGregor, but that dude's doing something special. As a student of the game, how impressed are you with Topuria? How good is this guy?
But what Conor, there's not comparable. Conor did amazing things, particularly beating Aldo. The rest of his career wasn't, I'm not taking anything away from it, but it wasn't the level that Topuria is at right now. Beating Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski back-to-back via knockout, you can't compare the two.
Fighter of the year?
Yeah. I mean, I get a lot of people are saying Alex, right? I get that. It's a fair argument. I got Ilia all the way. You can't compare what he's done. I mean, Max has never been knocked out. I don't think he'd ever been dropped, right?
No, I don't think so,
dude. And Alex is not a guy that gets knocked out a bunch. I think he just got knocked out by Islam before that. Maybe he came back too soon. So there's an argument there. Alex has done amazing things. there's an argument. I got Ilia all the way. I think it's that's a once in a lifetime that you're going to see that kind of run.
Do you think who had a bigger year, Usyk or Topuria?
Ooh, I mean Usyk, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Is that guy unstoppable?
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, maybe Ilia actually. Now that I think about it for a second, just Usyk beating Fury was fascinating. You know, I probably follow boxing a little closer too. So I watch it more. So maybe that's why that came in my head first. But yeah, you got to go with Ilia on that, I guess. After you're thinking about it,
Fury's a very special heavyweight, man. What is your take on the heavyweight situation? Jones, Tom Aspinall, or Pereira in the mix?
Well, John talks about legacy, right? Pereira, to me, is not a legacy fight for John because Alex is not a heavyweight. Tom is more of a legacy fight. He is the interim champ, so it is 1,000% the proper fight. If John fights Alex, it's for money. And I just wish that he would say that. Like, yeah, I want to fight Alex. I want to make the money. Fair. I want to watch that fight too. I would not mind at all seeing that fight. But it's not the legacy fight. Tom Aspinall is the legacy fight.
Oh, yeah, man. Thailand, I just want to know, you seem to get a lot out of your trips here. What's one thing that the US could take or the MMA world could take from Muay Thai and the culture here?
It's a good question, man. It's a good question because, I mean, I could think of a lot of things that they could take, you know, between like, you know, the respect, the tradition, the love for fighting. But America's a different world. It doesn't carry over properly. So, you know, that's a hard one. It just doesn't carry over. You know? Different cultures, different places.
You seem super at peace with your career. You achieved so much. I want to know if you in your prime versus anyone in their prime, if you could have one fight, what would it be?
GSP. Yeah, I was close. You know, I was on the title run when he was champion. I was close. And I'm not a fool. Like, I think he'd probably beat me. Probably decision, take me down, hold me down most of the fight. But that's why we fight, because we don't know that. And I know that if I was able to keep him on the feet or bring in deep waters, make it a little bloody of a fight, I know that I could get it done. But as a fighter, my only goal has always been to fight the next guy, the next best guy.
Even though you're retired, you still look at like Dricus and size him up. And what happens with Dricus? He's so unorthodox, but he's got heart, he's got stamina. What's next?
You can't predict a guy like him, I think, right? That's what... Dricus isn't an aberration, man. So it's kind of funny, right? Like if I coach a lot of guys in my gym. They ask me like, maybe they'll punch somebody, we're watching video. They'll say, did I do that right? I say, well, did it land? Yes, then you did it right. That is the right way to throw a strike, right? And so when you look at Dricus, I mean, he doesn't do it like what you would teach someone, but he wins, so he does it right.
Does he beat Hamza? That guy's a killer.
I didn't think he would beat anybody that he's beat.
Really?
I don't think I picked Dricus in like his last 5 fights.
What about Hamza?
Yeah, the way he looked against Rob, I mean, he looks unstoppable. Nobody's done that to Rob. He looks unstoppable. There's no other way to put it. That night, the way that he beat Rob, I mean, it doesn't look like anybody could fuck with him. Again, Dricus is an aberration just because he, paper to paper. You watch videos of them both, don't look at rankings. Don't look at numbers, wins, losses. Like, just look at each of them fighting. You're like, Dricus ain't got a fucking chance. But I said that 20 times before. Or however many times, the last 5 fights I picked against him. And he keeps fucking getting it done. So, he's a special guy. I love watching special guys, man.
Okay, to wrap up, we're about to start the show. I'm commentating, no idea what's going to happen. It's always fun when you're here. Anybody who doesn't know Fight Circus or Thailand, what are they missing? What can they expect?
Fuck, you expect a circus, bro. This is a spectacle. We're in the coolest theater I've ever seen in my life. We're in the coolest country, the most beautiful place in the world. And it's just a perfect scene for Fight Circus. The way the show is ran, a lot of energy, a lot of fun, a lot of good fights, and just a complete shit show from top to bottom. And that's what we tune in for.
No bullshit from Matt Brown. Always fascinating chatting to you about the game. Fight Circus, here we go. Respect.